Good afternoon, everyone. So, Stats Chapter 2 Practical finally begun. In a television manufacturing company, 500 television sets are produced during a week. A sample of 50 television sets is drawn and each television set is examined. Now, listen carefully, everyone. First of all, the number of defects per set is given below. So, if you all have the textbooks with you, take it out, and in this illustration 1, number of defects per set would be your variable xi, because number of defects will vary from television to television. The number of defects will vary from television to television. So number of defects is your variable. Okay. And then a sample of 50 television sets is done. So that is your frequency. Okay. Frequency is number of repetitions. So the number of television sets having the defect would be the number of repetition. That is its frequency. So raise your hand who could not understand what is a variable or a frequency. Kushi, did you understand this variable and frequency, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, number of defects differs from television to television. So number of defects is the variable xi. And number of television sets is the repetition of that defect. So that is frequency fi. Prepare an appropriate frequency distribution. Now, Kushi,
Yes, sir.
is number of defect a discrete variable or a continuous variable?
Continuous?
Means it can be in decimals, 2.5 defect.
No.
It cannot be in decimals, no? So it is discrete variable.
Yes.
Okay, simple trick I have given you yesterday. It cannot be in decimal means it's discrete.
Discrete.
Got it? It has fixed values. It cannot be any value in a range. It has fixed values. So it is a discrete variable. Because it's a discrete variable, which frequency distribution we will make? Discrete frequency distribution. Because it is a discrete variable, we will make discrete frequency distribution. Now, Khushi, what is the lowest value in this data is given to you?
0.
0. And what is the highest value?
3. 4.
5.
5.
5 is the highest value. Okay, 0 is the lowest value and 5 is the highest value. So, number of defects, we will mark it as xi. Okay, if you all are solving, you should give proper heading also. Heading, like you can give the heading discrete frequency distribution. Discrete frequency distribution. Showing number of defects. Discrete frequency distribution showing number of defects in television. Okay, and then 3 columns you all will be making. One is number of defects, that is your variable xi, and then tally marks, and then the number of televisions having that defect. So number of televisions, that is frequency fi. Now here, since the lowest value is 0 and maximum is 5, number of defects we will write from 0 to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now, Khushi, how will we do it with the tally mark? Understand it. After 4 tally marks, 5th one should be crossed. Then again you make a group of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This way. Khushi, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Dhairya, unmute yourself. Dhairya Doshi.
हाँ सर, वो भूल से हो गया था, नहीं मेरे को कंफ्यूजन था एफआई और एक्सआई में. हो गया अब क्लियर.
देखो बेटा, इसमें ना नंबर ऑफ डिफेक्ट्स वेरी करेगा टीवी से टीवी में, कि नंबर ऑफ टीवी वेरी करेंगे डिफेक्ट से डिफेक्ट में?
नंबर ऑफ डिफेक्ट्स वेरी करेंगे.
वेरी क्या करेगा? हर टीवी में डिफरेंट क्या होगा? नंबर ऑफ डिफेक्ट्स हर टीवी में डिफरेंट होंगे ना. Dhairya? Daria, are you there? Daria? Daria?
Yes sir, अब सुनाई दे रहा है.
हाँ, number of defects will be different for each television or not?
Yes.
So number of defects is a variable because it varies from TV to TV. कोई टीवी में 0 डिफेक्ट है, कोई टीवी में 1 डिफेक्ट है, किसी में 2 डिफेक्ट्स है. तो हर टीवी में नंबर ऑफ डिफेक्ट्स अलग अलग होते हैं. सो दैट इज अ वेरिएबल दैट वेरीज. ठीक है.
हाँ हाँ.
सपोज 0 डिफेक्ट्स 5 टेलीविजन में, तो 0 कितनी बार रिपीट हुआ? 5 बार. सो द नंबर ऑफ टेलीविजन इज इट्स फ्रीक्वेंसी.
Yes, yes sir. हाँ.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, Khushi, see,
Yes, sir.
because the values are small, we read 3 values at a time. So, Khushi, what are the first 3 values?
कौन सी सब मतलब समझ में नहीं आया, फिर से एक बार बोलो ना.
These data is given to you, na? In that, which are the
Yes.
first 3 values? 0,
0, 2, 2.
0, 3 and 2.
Okay, yes.
Read it horizontally. Which are the first 3 values?
0, 3, 2.
ठीक है, यहाँ तक हमने ले लिया. तो
हाँ.
against 0 you put a tally mark, against 3 you put a tally mark, against 2 you put a tally mark. Did you understand?
Yes.
Tell me the next 3 values.
1, 0 and
5.
1, 0 and 5.
So 1 के सामने tally mark, 0 के सामने tally mark, 5 के सामने tally mark. Got it?
Yes.
Then read the next 3.
2, 3, 0.
2 against 2 tally mark, against 3 tally mark, against 0 tally mark. Okay, able to follow?
Yes, yes, sir.
Then after 2, 3, 0, again 2, 3, 0.
Yes.
So 2, 3, 2, 3, 0. Okay, read the next 3 values.
0, 1, 0.
So 0. Now see 0, we already have got 4 tally marks, right?
Yes.
So now you put a cross for the 5th one.
Okay.
Okay, then
Yes.
1 and then again 0. Did you understand this?
Yes.
Read the next 3 values.
2, 3, 4.
2, 3,
4.
2. Next
1, 0, 4.
1, 0, 4. So 1, 0, 4. Next
5, 2, 1.
5, 2, 1. When you people are solving it, keep your finger on the numbers so that you remember which number was taken last. 5. Now what will we do for 2, Khushi?
For 2, now we will cross it.
Okay, 5, 2 and 1. Then
0, 3, 2.
so 0, 3. What will we do in 3 again? Cross.
Cross.
2. Able to understand, right? Then next.
Yes, yes. 1, 1, 0.
Okay, because the values are small, I'm asking you to take 3 values at a time. When values are big, consider only 1 value at a time. Then 2, 4 and 2. So 2, 4, 2. Then after 2, 4 and 2, we have 1, 0, 0.
0.
So 1, then 0 again cross, then 0. Then 0, 1, 0. So 0, 1, 0. Then 1, 3, 1. So 1, 3, 1. For 1 again cross. 0, 0, 0. So 0, then again cross and then again 0. Then 0, 1, 1. So 0, then 1 and then 1. And then last is 0 and 2. Okay, last is 0 and 2. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you count it 5, 10, 15, 18.
18.
Then 5, 10, 12. Then 5 plus 4, 9. Then 5 plus 1, 6. Then 3 and then 2. Now, if we do the total, then 80, 30, 39, 45, 48,
50.
50. And at the top, you can see that 50 television sets was mentioned also.
Yes.
So, total number of TVs must come to 50. And how would you denote this? Sigma Fi. Total of frequency. Sigma means total. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, sir.
welcome. Is this clear now? Telemarking process?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Before we start with continuous frequency distribution, all of you take out your notebooks, okay? We will note down few important terms regarding to that. Then we will understand few rules also. If these terms and rules are clear to you, then the today's lecture which you are going to see, lecture number 2, you will not have much trouble. If these terms are not clear, you may face problem in understanding lecture number 2. So understand these terms properly. Very first term is class. Okay, very first term is class. What is class? Class means the range, the limits wherein we mention the observations. So if I write, for example, don't write it, just understand it. If I write 0 to 10, this range is called class. Means all the observations between 0 to 10 are included. Now, why do we write this class? Because what did we study yesterday? Continuous means it can assume any value between 0 to 10. Because it can assume any value between 0 to 10, you cannot write 0, 1, 2 and so on. You cannot do it this way. Because in that situation, values between 0 and 1 won't be included. So continuous frequency distribution is always represented in the form of this class. Okay. So write down class shows the range of observations included. Class shows the range of observations included. Example 0 to 10. Continuous frequency distribution, we will always be writing classes. Okay, for like here we have written xi and variable frequency. In continuous we'll be writing 0 to 10, 11 to 20 and so on. So in continuous frequency distribution we will always use this classes to write the variable. Raise your hand who did not understand the meaning of a class. Okay, everyone is clear with the meaning of class. Now next, all of you understand this? Write down lower limit. Write down minimum value of a given class. Minimum value of a given class is called lower limit. Minimum value of a given class is called lower limit. Okay. Now don't write it, just be attentive. Urja Patel, unmute yourself.
Yes,
Urja,
sir.
do you understand what is lower limit?
Yes, sir.
So if the class is 20 to 30, 20-30, what will be its
Hmm.
lower limit?
20.
20. Minimum value of that class 20 would be its lower limit.
Lower limit.
Very good. Third one, upper limit. Okay, give the heading upper limit. Now what is upper limit? Understand it. Maximum value. Okay, like lower limit was the minimum value. So maximum value of a given class is called upper limit. So same examples what I gave right now. 0 to 10, the lower limit would be 0 and the upper limit would be 10. Lower limit would be 0 and the upper limit would be 10. Lower limit is the minimum value of the given class and upper limit is the maximum value of the given class. Okay, next, after upper limit, now next term what we will understand it. Fourth term, mid value. It is the middle most value. It is the middlemost value of a given class. But when you define it, you will say it is the average of lower limit and upper limit of a given class. It is the average of lower limit and upper limit of a given class. Means formula is mid value is equal to lower limit plus upper limit divide by 2. Okay, and theoretically lower limit plus upper limit divide by 2 means what? Theoretically average. Lower limit plus upper limit divide by 2 means average of lower limit and upper limit of a given class. Okay, so this example what we had taken, you need not write 0 to 10. What would be its mid value? 0 is the lower limit plus 10 is the upper limit divide by 2. So 0 plus 10, 10 divide by 2, 5. Same way if the class is 45 to 50, then Varun Sarji, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
45 to 50 class, how will you find the mid value?
45 plus 50 divided by 2.
Yes. Aman Jaiswal, perfectly correct. Very good. And Varun, you also perfectly correct. Very good. 45 plus 50 divided by 2. 45 plus 50, 95 divided by 2, 47.5. I hope all have got the calculators now. They will. This calculations can be easily performed if you have the calculators with you. Okay. Fifth term. Inclusive and exclusive classes. Now, inclusive classes means the class includes the upper limit. The class includes the upper limit. And exclusive classes means the class excludes means does not include the upper limit. Okay, class excludes or does not include the upper limit. Now all of you listen carefully. These are only two ways of presenting the same information. Same information can be presented in two different ways. Okay, if I write the information as 0 to 10, 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and so on. Okay, and if I write 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and so on. 0 to 9 will include 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 to 19 will include 10, 11, 12, and so on up till 19. Same way 20 will include 20, 21, 22, and so on up till 29. And 30 to 39 will include 30, 31, 32, and so on up till 39. Even 0 to 10 will include that only, because 10 will go in the next class. 0 to 10 will also include 0 to 9 only, because 10 cannot be included in two classes. Two classes cannot, one observation cannot overlap. So 10 to 20 will include 10 to 19 only, because 20 will be included in the next class. 20 to 30 will include 20 to 29 only, because 30 will be included in the next class. Same way 30 to 40 will include 30 to 39 only. So both are including same observations, 0 to 9. But these are two different ways of presenting it. However, in 0 to 9, 9 is included, so it is called inclusive class. 0 to 10, 10 is excluded, so it is called exclusive class. So these are two different ways of presenting the same information. I repeat, these are two different ways of presenting the same information. Inclusive classes, as the name suggests, it includes the upper limit. Upper limit. Exclusive class, as the name suggests, it excludes, means does not include the upper limit. Okay, it excludes the upper limit. But both convey the same meaning. Even 0 to 9, 0 to 9 will be included. Even in 0 to 10, 0 to 9 will only be included. You are writing 0 to 10, but we will include only up till 9. 10 will go in the next class. Okay, now we understand when do we use inclusive and when do we use exclusive. In which type of questions will you make 0 to 9, 10 to 19? And which type of questions will you make 0 to 10 and 10 to 20? So in practical questions, when you solve it, you must be able to differentiate when to use the presentation, because both of them convey the same meaning. So you must be able to differentiate in which type of question should we use inclusive and in which type of question should be presented in exclusive form. Okay, so understand this. Inclusive presentation will be done or will be used when first variable is discrete. Variable is discrete. Second, the range of data is very wide. In such questions, we will use inclusive. When variable is discrete but range of data is very wide. And exclusive will be used only in one situation, when variable is continuous. When variable is continuous. Okay, inclusive we will use when variable is discrete and range is very wide. Now understand this with an example. Ayushi Patel, unmute yourself. Number of mobile phones produced, is it a discrete variable or a continuous variable?
Discrete.
Discrete, because it cannot be in decimals. So suppose you are given information about number of mobile phones. Suppose you are given information about number of mobile phones. But number of mobile phones, minimum value in the question. Like see, here we had minimum value 0 and maximum 5.
Yes.
Here the minimum value of number of mobiles produced is 20 and maximum is 200. Now the variable is discrete, but can we write it this way?
No.
Because then 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 up till 200 will be too much. Okay, up till 200 will be too much. So what we will do, we will write it in the form of class.
Class.
But which class? Inclusive. Inclusive means you will write 20 to 39, 40 to 59, 60 to 79. Just an example, and so on. You can take from 190, 180 to 199 up till 200. Now, why we are using inclusive? Riddhi, unmute yourself, Riddhi.
Yes, sir.
Can you have any number of mobile phone produced between 39 and 40?
39 and 40.
Between that, can you have any number of mobile phone produced between 39 and 40?
Yes, sir.
Means 39.5 mobiles can be produced.
No, sir. No.
So can you have any number between 39 and 40?
Yes.
Means 39.5 mobiles can be produced.
No.
So can you have any number of mobiles values between 39 and 40?
No.
No. That's why we do inclusive presentation, because there is going to be no value between 39 and 40.
40.
Okay, but instead of number of mobile phones, suppose I am talking about, instead of number of mobile phones, suppose I am talking about height of a person in centimeters. I am talking about height of person in centimeters. Then Riddhi, can we have
Yes, sir.
between 39 and 40 centimeters?
Yes, sir.
We can have. So here we will not write 20 to 39, we will write 20 to 40,
40.
50 to 60, 60 to 80, and so on up to
80.
180 to 200.
Yes, sir.
So when do we use this exclusive presentation? When the variable is continuous. Because when the variable is continuous, then even between 39 and 40 decimal values are possible. But when do we use this inclusive presentation? When the variable is discrete. When the variable is discrete, then any value between 39 and 40 is not possible. So we use inclusive presentation. Okay. But again, the range is very wide. Like the number of mobile phones are ranging from 20 to 200. The range of the data is very wide. So we write it in the form of a class. If the number of mobile phones were produced between 20 and 30, then we would have done this discrete presentation only 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 and so on. Okay. So when do we particularly use this inclusive presentation? When the variable is discrete and the range is very wide. The range of the data is very wide. Whereas exclusive we use when the variable is continuous. Okay. Now, our next point what we understand is lower boundary point and upper boundary point. Listen carefully. Term number 5 is done. So 6. All of you write down 6th term. Lower boundary point. Lower boundary point. Lower limit is different and lower boundary point is different. Now lower boundary point is what? It is the average of lower limit of a given class, average of lower limit of given class and upper limit of preceding class. Average of lower limit of given class and upper limit of preceding class. Means in the formula you can say that lower boundary point is equal to lower limit of given class plus upper limit of preceding class divided by 2. Lower limit of given class plus upper limit of preceding class divided by 2. Same way upper boundary point. Okay, first we discuss lower boundary point. Now, what is lower boundary point? Understand this. Here, what is the lower limit of the given class? 40. Plus, what is the upper limit of preceding class? 39. So 40 plus 39 divided by 2. 79 divided by 2. 39.5. This is how you find the lower boundary point. Average of lower limit of given class plus upper limit of preceding class. Okay. So, can you tell me for this class 160 to 79, what will be the lower boundary point? How will we find that? Abhishek Yadav, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Abhishek, class 60 to 79, how will you find the lower boundary point? Abhishek,
60 को 59 से प्लस करके नीचे 2 डिवाइड करना है तो फिर आएगा.
exactly. Lower limit is 60 plus upper limit of preceding class is 59. So 60 plus 59 divided by 2, 59.5.
119.
Okay, 119 divided by 2 will be 59.5. Did you understand it?
Yes.
Raise your hand. Who can tell me how will you find upper boundary point? Sujal, unmute yourself.
Sir, upper limit of given class plus lower limit of the next class
Divide by?
divided by 2.
Very good. Perfect. All of you note down this now. Upper boundary point, note down everyone. 7th term. Upper boundary point is equal to definition would be, as we have written this theoretical definition, that would be average of upper limit of given class, average of upper limit of given class plus, in fact, and lower limit of next class or succeeding class. SUCCEEDING. Succeeding class means next class. Formula will be upper boundary point is equal to upper limit of given class plus lower limit of succeeding class divide by 2. Okay, upper limit of given class plus lower limit of succeeding class divide by 2. So, how will you find the upper boundary point of 20 to 39? Hetvi Brahmbhatt, unmute yourself. Yes,
Yes, sir.
How will you find upper boundary point of 20 to 39?
Sir, 20 plus 59.
20 to 39, beta. Upper boundary point.
39.
39 is the upper limit of this class plus.
Yes. Plus 59.
No,
No, sorry, 40. 40.
What is the lower limit of the next class? 40.
40.
39 is the upper limit. What is the lower limit of the next class?
40.
By 2.
2.
So 79 divided by 2, that is 39.
Yes.
So upper boundary point of 20 to 39 and lower boundary point of 40 to
Next
59 is same.
Okay.
Upper boundary point and this lower boundary point is same. Okay. Same way, tell me the upper boundary point of 60 to 79 class. How will you find? Gaurav Verma, unmute yourself.
79 plus
Plus.
180.
नहीं बेटा 60 to 79 के बाद मैंने डॉट किया मतलब नेक्स्ट क्लास होगा 80 to 99 मैंने लिखा नहीं है but it will be there. So 79 plus 80. I have not written it but it will be there. So 79 plus 80 divided by 2, 159 divided by 2, 79.5. Now few important points related to this. Listen carefully. Lower boundary point and upper boundary point is important only for inclusive class. Okay, which class? Inclusive classes only. Why? Suppose you do this task in exclusive class. Suppose you do this task in exclusive class. Lower boundary point 40 plus 40 divided by 2. You'll get the same answer 40. So it is of no use. It will be 40 only. Means in exclusive classes, lower boundary point and lower limit are same. Lower boundary point is of no use. Where is this concept of lower boundary point and upper boundary point relevant and important? This concept is relevant and important only when the classes are inclusive. Only when the classes are inclusive. In exclusive classes, lower limit and lower boundary point are same. Upper limit and upper boundary point are same. Did you all understand this? Okay, so when is this concept of lower boundary point and upper boundary point relevant and important? Only when the classes are inclusive. When the classes are exclusive, then lower boundary point is same as lower limit, upper boundary point is same as upper limit. But in inclusive classes, lower boundary point is different from lower limit, upper boundary point is different from upper limit. Raise your hand who did not understand this. Clear with this, everyone? So when is this concept relevant? Inclusive classes only, lower boundary point and upper boundary point. Now what is its use? What is its use? With the help of lower boundary point and upper boundary point, we convert inclusive class into exclusive class. We convert inclusive into exclusive with the help of lower boundary point and upper boundary point. For example, here 20 to 39.5. Okay, I'm erasing everything, understand it. Here, lower boundary point would have been 19.5. Why 19.5? 20 plus, if there was a preceding class, its upper limit would have been 19. So 20 plus 19 divided by 2, 19.5. Upper boundary point 39 plus 40 divided by 2, 39.5. Here lower boundary point 40 plus 39 divided by 2, 39.5. Upper boundary point 59 plus 60 divided by 2, 59.5. Now 19.5 to 39.5. 39.5 to 59.5 becomes exclusive class. So inclusive class 20 to 29, how do you convert it into exclusive class 19.5 to 39.5? With the help of lower boundary point and upper boundary point. So this concept of lower boundary point and upper boundary point is useful in converting inclusive classes into exclusive classes. Okay, write down as a note. All of you write down as a note, I am dictating it. Note 1. Lower boundary point and upper boundary point. Note 1. Lower boundary point and upper boundary point are relevant for inclusive frequency distribution only. For inclusive frequency distribution only. Okay, why they are not relevant for exclusive? Understand it. In exclusive distribution, lower boundary point will be same as lower limit and upper boundary point will be same as upper limit. So they are not relevant in exclusive distribution. Lower boundary point and upper boundary point are relevant only in inclusive frequency distribution. One more time I repeat, because in exclusive frequency distribution, lower boundary point will be same as lower limit, upper boundary point will be same as upper limit. Second note, write down. Lower boundary point and upper boundary point, lower boundary point and upper boundary point are used in converting inclusive class to exclusive class. Inclusive class to exclusive class. Okay, so lower boundary point and upper boundary point will be useful in converting inclusive classes into exclusive class. Did you all understand this portion? Any confusion with that? Okay, now we take up with the next concept. Be attentive. Class length. Class length. It is denoted as C. Class length is denoted as C. What is class length? Difference between upper boundary point and lower boundary point. Difference between upper boundary point and lower boundary point. Means class length is equal to upper boundary point minus lower boundary point. Okay. Now, Zia, unmute yourself.
Yes.
20 to 40, what is the class length?
Class
20.
20.
Upper boundary point minus lower boundary point. Did you understand? For 20 to 39, what is the class length? What is the upper boundary point of 20 to 39?
39.
Yes?
39.
No, 39.5. I did not say upper limit, I said upper boundary point.
39.5.
What is the lower boundary point of 20 to 39?
19.5.
So what is like 39.5 minus 19.5?
20.
So here also class length is 20, here also class length is 20. Mind well why I am discussing this, everyone. Don't do 39 minus 20. Don't do 39 minus 20. You have to do 39.5 minus 19.5. That is also 20. In short, whether you write 0 to 19, 20 to 29 or 0 to 19, 20 to 40, both of the things the class length is going to be 20 only. Okay. Here also the class length is 20. Here also the class length is 20. Because class length is not upper limit minus lower limit. Class length is upper boundary point minus lower boundary point. Okay, class length is upper boundary point minus lower boundary point. So 0 to 9, 10 to 9 also class length is 10. For 0 to 9 the class length is not 9. 0 to 9 the class length is 10.
10.
And for 0 to 10, 10 to 20 also class length is 10. Okay, what did I tell you? These are the two different ways of presenting the same information. These are the two different ways of presenting the same information. So even 0 to 4, 5 to 9, the class length is 5. And even 0 to 5, 5 to 10, the class length is 5. Okay, so we wind up with today's session. Okay, so we disperse. Bye everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Excellent lecture.
Excellent. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye.